Welcome back to another episode of the We Them Brothers podcast. I'm your illustrious host, Jimmy Hicks, and I'm here with the star of the show right here, Anthony Robinson.
He can't put illustrious before the start. So, it's illustrious.
I can't give myself another adjective, man.
No,
and you got all that.
Jimmy Lee. Jimmy Lee. That's what you get. Got enough.
I like it.
Jimmy Lee Hicks and the illustrious.
Oh, you get illustrious.
Yeah,
Okay.
We back, baby.
I see how we do it.
We are back. Jimmy Lee Hicks and I'm the illustrious Anthony Rogerson.
We still here after last episode. That's what's
we still here. Nobody watched it. I didn't promote it. I was scared.
And we got a sponsor. We got a sponsor since then.
Yeah.
Shout out to Magic Mind.
Do more, stress less. I mean, what you think about it, Jimmy?
I actually did take Magic Mind. We're gonna see. I'm gonna let the audience decide, but I am more energized. I am more focused. Magic Mind is an energy and focus drink. It's been focused on the Joe Rogan podcast, and the Kardashians use it. So
and if they use it, hey, you want to be a middle-aged white lady?
Oh my God! See,
and look like you're 19 still?
This might be the first and last sponsor that we have. But no, I did use the drink. And in my opinion, it's a healthier version of 5 Hour Energy. It did, and it gave me a little bit more energy earlier today. I've been a little bit more focused, so I will attest to I've actually used it and it works. So we're going to have the code below. It's magicmind.com/WeThemBros. If you put in the code WeThemBros20, then you get 56% off your first subscription or your first month of using the product. So
that means you're only paying 44%. I'm a genius.
That's good math. I like the way you did that quick math.
Basic math.
You did that quick math. I like that. So what do you want to talk about?
Well,
shout out to Cody Rhodes.
Maybe I should pop one and get going. Magic Mind.
It wouldn't hurt. I'm just saying. You might knock out a few more loans this evening.
But what will it do for me later? No.
You got to follow with April on that.
Clearly. What we got going on in the world? The loans, North Star.
Well, I know everybody wants to hear about rates first. Rates are still what they are. We got a Fed meeting coming up on.
Fed minutes come out today.
Fed minutes come
out today. So that's where we are with the Fed. Fed is gonna let you know what they talked about in the last meeting and all of that stuff.
I think rates went up and then came back down since we last spoke, since we last saw y'all. So we're waiting on the cuts. The cuts are gonna be coming. It's not gonna be a drastic fall off the cliff from 7 to 5. I think it's going to be a slight downfall from we'll probably get into the 5s by end of the year, if not closer to the fall. I think our response is still try to get your house now, because the onslaught is coming. You don't want to be in the mosh pit of all the people that's going to just drastically come back to the market when rates do come back down to 5%. You want to go ahead and get in now while sellers are still giving incentives. And then we can always refinance you later on in the year when rates do come down. At least then you're already in your house by the end. So,
yeah, we can drag this out for an hour or we can just listen to Jimmy. I'm just going to tell you, if you was listening to Jimmy for the last 18 months, you'd be in real good position, right? So, I don't know. I'm still excited about where we're going with real estate and housing and all of that stuff. How you feeling? We are almost through February, Black History Month.
Yeah, right? We're hitting the last leg of Black History Month.
Right. How are you feeling with applications this year? What are so again, stuff happens quickly. We're 8 months into the year. I mean, sorry, 8 weeks into the year. You have a lot of times in lending capacity, realtor capacity, you have people that take their feet off the gas right around Thanksgiving, and they say, "Hey, I'm a chill for the holidays," right?
Yeah, not a good look,
right? Not a good look, right? Because now you got some folks who, we're almost 2 months in, and they ain't had no closings, be it loan officers or realtors.
Yep.
Right? What's your
We're not
advice?
I was about to say we're not seeing that, or on our side we're not seeing it because we never take our foot off the gas.
Yeah, I'm not
first of
taking
all,
my foot off the gas.
Yeah.
What's your advice to our counterparts out there, right? In terms of this market, because there's somebody still struggling, right? Like,
Yeah.
this market ain't changed. I hear what y'all saying about rates. Rates are going down. Are people really seeing that in their pocket right now?
I don't know. Like from what I see, like gas is down. If we're talking about just inflation across the board, like gas is down, groceries are down. Like ground beef and eggs cost a little bit less than they did 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I am seeing, like, just on the ground level, I am seeing prices come down. I am seeing rates come down. Like they're not, like, people got to remember that we were at 8.5, close to 9% not too long ago. We're in the low 7s, mid 6s now, depending on your credit score. So I would say it's definitely coming. It's definitely coming as far as I've seen an uptick in applications, like people putting in more applications. Some of those agents that did take their foot off the gas around Thanksgiving, they're back and they're sending a slew of people. Like I have some agents that I haven't talked to since October, November, and I've talked to recently and they've already sent me like 5 or 6 different clients.
I got 2 applications today for an agent that I probably hadn't talked to the last 6 months of the year.
Right.
To that point. Like just today. Yeah. Boom, boom. But my agent stopped talking to me for all kinds of reasons. You know? Typically, it's my attitude, but that's neither here nor there.
But to your point, like it's coming. We see that those people that said that they were waiting until rates came down, some of them are taking our advice, like you don't want to wait till rates come all the way down, because then you're just going to be in the hodgepodge of everybody that was coming. I don't think we're going to see like the onslaught that we did in during COVID time, but it's still going to be. It's going to switch to a seller's market before too long. It's definitely going to switch to a seller's market before too long. And I'm seeing houses not stay on the market for months at a time like they were over the past few months or the past half a year. Those houses are starting to fly off the market. I don't know about, you can probably speak more to the builder side, but I am seeing people be more hesitant to give incentives. Like we're still seeing sellers give incentives, but it's not as much as it was before.
Gotcha.
Because we're getting more, like they're getting more offers now.
Right.
So their houses aren't sitting on the market for 2 and 3 months anymore. Right. Like they're still, like it depends on what county you're buying in, what market you're buying in, but we are starting to see a slow shift towards like you might want to get in now before it's too late.
Right. And we're not telling you. There's this element of self-serving, right? It's like, oh, we're telling you to get in now because if you get in now, we get paid now, right? But that is, I mean, that's the math of it, right?
Yeah.
But
but we gonna get paid when everybody comes to the market. Like right. I always looked at it like if I got, like if there's 20 people going after this house, but like 10 of them got pre-approvals from me,
right?
I'm gonna get paid one way or another.
Right. So I think it's important that, because sometimes we listen through things from a skeptical ear. It's like, oh, he's telling us to get in the market now because, they just want to get paid. Yes, I want to get paid. Yeah. Just like you want to get paid for your job. No different, right?
Like none of us are doing pro bono work. None of us are working at a charitable, like, we are trying to feed our family.
But there is a moral compass that lies within us that, I know for certain we don't get up here and tell you things that we don't believe in, right? So,
exactly. Yeah.
It's definitely a good time, to get in the market. Speak a little bit to that buyer that is cash strapped, right? That is concerned with cash to close, that are concerned with payments. Talk a little bit about the latest 2 programs that we rolled out, be it Easy Start program and our Bright Path program. Tell them a little bit about. One is a grant program up to $25,000 in grant money that you don't have to pay back. But talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so we'll start with Bright Path because most of the first, like those people that you're talking about, the first thing out of their mouth is what kind of down payment assistance programs you have. We have several, but one of the newer ones that we have that we really like is called the Bright Path program, where it's 100% financing. So your 3.5% down under FHA is taken care of. It's a program that doesn't have a lot of the restrictions that most down payment assistance programs have. We've talked to you guys in the past where if you go under a down payment assistance program, a lot of times they have restrictions of what you can do with the home for the first 3 to 5 years. So a lot of them have it where you can't refinance for the first 3 or 5 years. You can't sell your home for 5 years, but without having to pay the grant back. This specific program doesn't have those restrictions. So you can still take advantage where, like, I'm not going to name any specific down payment assistance programs to do that because I don't want to tick them off. But if you, let's say if you did one of those programs and they have a restriction where the first 3 years, the first 5 years, you can't refinance. Well, when rates do come down into the 5%, you're kind of stuck if you go through one of those programs. So you can't refinance out of like maybe a higher rate that you're locking into now. With this program, it doesn't have those restrictions. So the Bright Path will take care of your 3.5% down payment. The only thing that you would have to worry about is closing costs, which is another reason why now's the time to get a home while incentives are still out there and they're plentiful as far as both builders and resale, because you can get the seller most times to pay most of, if not all of your closing costs if you negotiate it right. So the seller's taking care of your closing costs. The Bright Path program takes care of your down payment. And all you really have to come to the table with most times is your earnest money and appraisal fee. So I think that's a very advantageous program that people should take advantage of, because after you've made 6 payments with your mortgage, you're able to refinance out of that loan or out of that locked in rate into a lower rate. So let's say, for example, I think the interest rate starts at 7.75. But if you can stomach that payment for the first 6 months, then you can refinance when rates come back down in the 5. So if you're closing, let's say March, first payment is going to be in May. You will have made your 6th payment by November. So by the end of the year, when those 5% rates come around, you can refinance.
You're in good position.
Exactly. You can refinance to that 5%, and then you can go ahead and you already have the home. So you're not in the, what I like to call the Black Friday thing, where y'all seen the pictures where everybody's going into Best Buy and fighting over TVs. That's how it's going to be with homes when we do get those 5%. You won't be in any of that, and you'll be able to take advantage of that 5% rate just the same.
Bright Path. What are some of the qualifications? Do you have to be a first-time home buyer?
That is one qualification, but it's not the qualification. So if you're first-time home buyer, then you're good. If you've not owned a home within the past 3 years, then you're still good, like, because you're considered a first-time home buyer.
First responders, teachers, anyone. This is the kicker.
Yeah, I like this one.
Anyone that has done volunteer work.
Anyone who's done volunteer work, and it's very broad as far as like what volunteer work you do. So we all done work with our churches. Most of us have done like food drives or worked at a shelter or pantry, like for Thanksgiving or for the holidays.
Your kid's sports team, you volunteer as a coach for your skin. So any volunteer work.
I was about to say, y'all all get signed up for the concession stand.
Right.
That's volunteer work.
That's volunteer work. So it makes you eligible for this program. So that's definitely a great program. And just, send us a message if you want to know more about it. But Bright Path, that helps out. Second program, we got Easy Start.
Yes. So for those of you who are still hesitant about where interest rates are, the Easy Start program is a great program because you get to lock in your rate at 1% lower than what the note rate is for the first 2 years. So basically what that means is right now we're in the mid 7. So let's say we're at 7%. Like we lock you in at 7%. With the Easy Start program, you will pay your mortgage the first 2 years 1% under that 7%. So it would pretty much count as like you're paying your mortgage at a 6% rate. For those first 2 years, like after the first 2 years, you go up to 7% for the third year and beyond. But the goal is still the same, to refinance you when we get down to the 5% rate. So after you've made that 6th mortgage payment, we would be looking at rates and seeing if we could finance you or refinance you into a lower interest rate than what the 6% would be. Or even if, like, let's say if rates only go down to 6, instead of like you having to wait those 2 years and eventually get to 7, we can refinance you into that 6 permanently. So it's still a good way where, like, if for those people who kind of can't stomach that higher payment as far as the interest rates are concerned, you don't have to. You can go ahead and lock into the Easy Start program. First 2 years, you're going to have a lower monthly payment based off that lower interest rate. And then that way, for the next year or two, you can just wait for rates to come down and we refinance you into a permanent rate from there.
So we have 2 answers for you between our Easy Start program and our Bright Path program. That's for, and again, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. You just may be a home buyer out there, and you're real concerned, as with many people are. You're concerned about your payment. You're also concerned with your cash to close. We have solutions for those. So,
we got solutions for everything.
I mean that. Listen,
you know what? Matter of fact, bring us your concerns. What is stopping you? Because I think everybody eventually wants to be a homeowner. Like whether it's now, whether it's 6 months from now, my lease ain't up for 2 years. 5 years from now, I'm thinking like I want to own a home within 5 years. Mm-hmm. Everybody has concerns. So bring them to us. Because I'm pretty sure we have a solution to get over that hump and get you into a home sooner rather than later.
And that's our goal. If that's your goal, we want to work with you and help you out. Anything else we got to keep them abreast of before our next episode?
Yes, I got another something that's grinding my gears.
This is gear grinder.
I know it's not going to be as salacious as the last episode, but I think we've talked about like the process in general before, and I've run into this quite often over the past few weeks. People that's hesitant to fully commit to the process. And what I mean by that is people that it's one thing, that's a whole nother ball of wax to get somebody to let you pull their credit, because everybody has listened to these horror stories about just getting their credit pulled in general. Let me break this down so it can forever stay broke. Getting your credit pulled with a mortgage company, i.e. North Star, does not in and of itself negatively affect your credit score.
Yes, it do. Yes, it do. Because my credit was 700, and then when you pulled it, it went down to a 697.
First of all.
Yes, it do.
First of all, that 700 was artificial anyway, because chances are you was getting it from Credit Karma or Credit Wise or whatever monitoring service that you have. And I know we've said this before, but those credit scores, I'm not even going to say that they're wrong. That's just not your actual mortgage score.
That's their consumer score.
Your consumer score. You're going to get a different version of your credit based on what you're applying for credit for. So we're going to pull something different than Macy's is going to pull if you're trying to get 20% off or whatever that they offering to sign up for one of their credit cards. We're going to pull something different than CarMax is going to pull when you go in to try to get an auto loan. Do not go and get an auto loan while you're going through the mortgage process.
Nope.
But we're going to pull something different from them. So it's good to go to a mortgage company to get your actual mortgage score pulled. And I've seen it both ways. I've seen us be 30 to 40 points lower than Credit Karma. I've seen us be 30 to 40 points higher than Credit Karma.
Yep.
So it just depends on what specifically is on your credit. So definitely come to us to make sure that you're ready. Like come to the trusted advisors. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think I preach this, and we preach this all the time. I don't know any other industry that people go and believe people that have nothing to do with the mortgage industry than they believe us. Like, I don't know anybody that believes what they heard on Facebook about this mole that's on your leg as opposed to going to a doctor or a dermatologist and actually believe in them.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that goes to Facebook to get their law advice as opposed to actually going to a lawyer. Yeah. When it comes to mortgages, people believe they baby daddy, sister, mother's, cousin's barber before they believe us.
Because my auntie said,
they don't know. I want y'all to understand, like, we had to go through all this training. Kamari's behind the camera right now, but he can attest this. He's going through his license right now, our executive producer.
Jay Dilla.
He's going through, like, and he can attest, if we bring him in front of the camera, he can attest to what the hurdles you have to jump through, not only to before you get to the actual test, but actually passing the test to get licensed. We have to get licensed for this. It ain't just something we got hired from. We ain't just like have a good interview and, oh, now we get to do mortgages. No, we had to get licensed to do this. So that makes us professionals and experts on what it takes to get a mortgage. So listen to us.
Please. He's a professional. I'm just a guy that passed the test.
But I say that to say like, and that could be a whole nother episode is convincing people to let you pull their credit. Because that's one of the main things we need to see if you're credit worthy and if we can lend you money. Like your credit score and your credit profile dictates what programs you can qualify for. It dictates your actual interest rates. That's another thing. People just say, well, what's your interest rate today? I can give you any number.
5, 3. Pick one.
Right. I can give you any number. But it really depends on, like, somebody with a 640 is going to have a different pricing and a different interest rate than somebody with a 700. Depending on, like, what they're buying, what program they have, FHA versus conventional, all of that. So that's one thing. The other thing that I've run into is y'all like the window shop. I'm just gonna put it out like that. Y'all like the window shop.
We going into a whole nother episode right now.
Y'all like the window shop, and the reason I say that is because even your realtor will tell you, I'm not taking you out, or a good realtor will tell you, I'm not taking you out to look at anything without a pre-approval letter. Do they say pre-qualification letter? They do not. They say pre-approval letter, and I'm gonna tell you the difference. Pre-qualification is based off of what you told me on the application. Like, maybe I pulled credit, maybe I haven't, maybe you asked me to do a soft pull, whatever the case is. But I maybe pulled credit, and I'm going by what you put on the application. You could have put that you're a fry cook at McDonald's and you make $8,000 a month.
That's me putting the salt.
So, like, yes, I can pre-qualify you on that. You won't be pre-approved until I see actual paperwork in my hand. Right. I need to see pay stubs. I need to see W-2s. If you're self-employed, I need to see tax returns. If you're not self-employed and don't have a job and you're just living off of disability, Social Security, child support, whatever, I need to see documentation for that. Because one thing I don't want to do, and it's not, I think people have this thing like, well, you want to get out of my business. Well, one, yeah. Because like
and do
because we're about to loan you 6 figures, sometimes 7 figures,
and
and I like to flip it on people. Like if you were loaning a perfect stranger 6 figures, how much information would you want from them? This is a perfect stranger. It's not nobody that you know. It's a perfect stranger. Y'all met off the street. They want to borrow 6 figures. How much information would you want from them to make sure that this person is able to pay you back? That's all it is. Like the bare bones of it, that's all it is as far as like when you want to get a loan. There's guidelines in place to where we need to see XYZ to make sure that before I give you this loan that's going to have this payment on it, are you able to pay me back? Mm-hmm. So I just say that to say, like, stop being so like, if you don't trust the person that you're dealing with, you need to find somebody that you do trust, like a professional that you do trust, not just anybody, but a professional that you do trust in order to be able to facilitate this loan for you. Because if you don't trust the person that's running your credit, like, you've already given me your Social Security and your like address, like, I got all your information anyway. So for you to say like, well, I don't feel like giving you a pay stub, like, what are we talking about? What are we doing?
I don't feel like giving you a pre-approval.
Right. What are we doing?
You don't feel like getting a house.
Right. Exactly. So that's why I say, like, y'all like window shopping, because people just want to, like, well, my realtor said I had to talk to you before we go see this house. Well, yeah, there's more to it than that. Like, she wants you to talk to me, or he wants you to talk to me, so I can figure out
how you get this house.
Right. If you can even afford the house you're trying to go see. If you can afford a house in general.
Right.
So they know where to take you.
Right.
So, like, that's it in a nutshell. Like, make sure that you're going through the process the correct way and following the guidelines and following the instructions of the professionals that got you here. Because truth be told, like, if you go ahead and get all your stuff up front and we're working through underwriting, we already got all your credit stuff out the way, we already got all your income stuff out of the way, you're actually a stronger buyer. And that, a lot of times, that'll help you win a deal quicker than you offering them more money.
Because you can be more aggressive with your offer.
Just think if
it's like, real.
Yeah.
All of these things are real. We don't, and they're all connected. We're just not just talking to be talking. Like, there's a process to getting you in the home that you want. And if you follow the process, the way we lay it out for you, and the way that your realtor, hopefully you're working with a skilled realtor, your combo, and we're talking to the buyers out there, need to be a skilled realtor and a skilled loan officer. That is what will help you get you into your house.
That's the 1-2 punch. That's the Shaq and Kobe that's gonna bring you to the championship. That's the bare bones of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It works.
Do more.
I like Magic Mind.
Magic Mind. Do more. Stress less. Until next time. I'm Anthony Rogerson.
You ain't have anything else you want to talk
No,
about?
I ain't got nothing more. Because listen, see if we gonna do it. They gonna do it or not gonna do it. We got some salacious stuff that we gonna keep up our sleeves for now. But
yeah, we gonna wait. We gonna make sure that we keep the sponsor first before we break out the deep stuff. The good stuff.
I
mean, they like us for a reason. So they seen our content,
and we like them for a reason.
Yeah,
Magic Mind.
I actually use this. They not just paying us to push some stuff that we don't use. Like I've actually taken this. I will vouch for the energy and the focus that I've had from taking it. It tastes way better than at first when I was reading the synopsis. I thought it was like, okay, it's a healthier version of a 5-hour energy drink. It is that, but it also tastes better than a 5-hour energy too.
Here's what I gotta say. Excuse me for cutting you off. Magic Mind. I put that shit on everything. We them brothers. Anthony Rogerson.
Jimmy Hicks. Peace.